Welcome. Um, should be a fun seed tonight. You got any information on what we're gonna see?
We got Sage Red Mages, and I'm seeing a criminal amount of not Red Mages on the screen. The main thing that I noticed, Mr. Ibis, feel free to back me up here, is I saw that there was exit starting on the White Mage, but no heal 3. So, like, the White Mage is a potential convenience pick, but, man, it's so hard to turn down Sage Red Mage times 3.
But no, I agree with you entirely. I was even talking that at worst comes to worst, I would have maybe taken a thief and 2 red mages. But even still, 3 red mages, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that.
Right, Forsaken. Jesus the Frog, yes, it is Sage. Just straight up. So, yep, right out the gate. So the gate is dropped for all 4 of our runners. They're about 5 minutes out on the delay. So we'll be seeing some things move pretty soon here. But if you need to, real quick, run, get some water, get a snack, something like that. I know there's a lot of snack talk when Caleb's on the comms. But
there is.
There's a minute or two before you need to get yourself settled back in.
Well, I may take you up on that offer, Mr. Ibis. If you would mind coming and keeping Sarah some company for me, I would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, sure, I can do the talky bits.
We're the refreshed crew over here.
Yeah, one of us has to make a pit stop.
Seems fair.
Absolutely fair. So, Mr. Ibis, how do you feel about what we're seeing on the screen here?
Well, I don't know what the Black Mage has, but really, like, taking that over the Sage Red Mage is spicy. White Mage is, alright, sure, you got exit. And if you have to dive into something ugly, it's nice to get out fast.
I hear you.
Plus, with the Red Mage having the agility, you're, at least halfway decent for... No, wait, it's just luck for running, so...
Agility counts for the first slot so you can get the ambushes and avoid them, but the White Mage starting with exit is, I think, sort of a reasonable pick. The only other consideration I have is the spell slot gain rate, because it's slightly faster on the White and the Black Mage. The Sage does not speed up your growth on the spell slots. So,
Yeah, I feel like it's really just kind of playing for the edge case of you've got exit, if harm winds up early and there's nothing great for red mages, that gives you a little bit of extra potential AoE coverage, but it's just like, you're really hoping you're just going to get away with it with Sage.
Mm-hmm.
Because after you get, $20 from those broke red mages, you're pretty much should be in coasting time for ability to pick stuff up. Not like you're going to get locked out of heal 4 or cure 4.
Yeah. The life spells will be available. It's always a nice feeling. The main thing that I'm hoping for is that the Topher is a little less rude. Be nice if we don't have a repeat. No shade. Like, that was a hard seed that was just completed, and yeah, it's just, man. Like I said, I don't know that I have it in me to stay up that late, because that puts us after midnight Eastern, and it's, no.
Definitely be pushing it. I don't know, though, with these 4 players, I feel like at the very least can trust Iker or soften them to say, you know what, I'm just going to go get more levels, because I feel like they're fairly solid. I can't remember. I know Iker was in my duck class.
I remember Krellin taking on Fryteeth in Spring Tournament 2021, and the first game of that series, Krellin took because of adapting to the situation and choosing to do an earlier bit of leveling so that you could continue on in the seed. So, I know that Krellin has the experience to deal with that sort of problem as well. We'll see what the seed throws at them, though. Like, you never know with these flags. They're very swingy, and that's both a feature and a frustration, right?
Yeah, because it's what, like 80 to 180, so that's anywhere from sneak in at 22 with a good weapon to go to 32 and pray.
I've seen some people try to sneak in the teens, and that's frightening to me.
Yeah, because you got to get lucky, what, 5 times then on the rolls?
Pretty much.
4. We'll not count the speed bump. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
All right. And looking at one of the race rooms, we are about 20 to 30 seconds away. Depends how much delay there is in the restream itself. But soon.
See, if the speed bump hits you with a second turn nuke, you just don't give him a second turn. That's the real trick.
Mm-hmm. And we're off. Partly. Cure 4 life at level 1. That's nice to see. Okay, buying it on the white mage. So, downside here, this is super important. Both of the red mages are giving minus 150 gold. So, realistically, if you are taking the 3 red mages plus the fighter, you're going to have to lean into your AoE starter item, whatever it is, to take a fight before you can buy magic. And that's a little bit annoying.
Because everything is more than 50, so you're getting one single spell for your party to kick things off.
Well, and with the triple red mage, you are starting at 0 gold, I think.
Yeah, it should be, because it's a 400 by default, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot.
But, you know, the flip side of that is the gold malices are, like, not really malices, right? Like, you think about them compared to all the other ones, you're not losing MDEF, you're not losing vitality or hit point growth. Like, it's a one-time
a minute or
inconvenience.
two, you find 1,000 gold in Topher, and you're like, all right, this is free.
Right. So, you know, you see what the box gives you. A Weird Sword minus 3, I'm sure, will sell for just fine. 7 gold and a soft
for 20 bucks.
Yeah. Soft, I'm taking a long walk to get to the entrance. But, you know, that's the flip side. We see a tail, and I missed whatever the other item was from the king. I'm sure we'll get there soon.
But what have I missed?
A crystal and a tail.
Ah, riveting.
Yep, and
Also Cure 4 in life, but level 1 magic.
and absolute garbage in the Toph boxes.
Ooh, hate to see that. What was our shredding magic item? Anything good?
Mage stick.
Cool.
Alright. So, Ikir crossing the bridge has defeated the bridge boss at about 240. And yes, please stop at Matoya and get some stuff.
I still get scared every time I cross that bridge when that screen pops up.
Yeah. Alright, we get a crown from Matoya.
So now, I will say this much. This is very interesting for our current setup. What was the idea behind this? Like, who suggested this, and how did he convince everybody else to agree?
I honestly don't know who suggested, but I am a big fan of alleviating the stress of the race crew, because restreamers are sometimes hard to come by. Dark Moon, we love you. And, you know, getting comms and a tracker as well, it's so much easier to just get one booth filled than 2. And we're going to be seeing a lot of booths to be filled over the next 2.5 months. So,
Yeah, trust me, I was supposed to have a race today, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Can I reschedule for tomorrow? So,
all right, Ike, you're up to the
got what?
Pirates.
36 races over the next 3 weeks.
Something like that.
Well, let's see what the Pirates have for us today.
A Ruby.
A Ruby.
All right, so we have a crown still that we can turn in. That's good news. We do not have a shop item here. I did not catch if there's a shop item in Canaria, but I doubt it, because I figure somebody would be going after it. But we have Crown Marsh and Ice left to check in the Inner Sea as far as next locations. And so far, I don't have the confidence in the magic to say, let's do Ice.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, Ice may be pivotal, but at this point, you have the crown. You might think it's a good idea to go to Marsh, and I would agree with that.
The other thing that, I was talking with Mr. Ibis about it a bit is you had kind of a limited budget with the red mages in the party because they came with a minus 150 gold malice. So that's been kind of plaguing all of our runners here is how much do I invest at any given magic shop right now for the encounters that I've taken?
And see, my thought would be, okay, I have very little money. Let's check the weapon shop. I know that red mages can wield a weapon. Let's see if I can find something. Even if we have to do all melee for right now, it's better to have them at least be useful than not have enough money to buy spells.
Yeah. Decent steel armor there, but a little expensive for our taste right now.
Yeah, but it'll be good to remember and come back to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Crescent Lake also in the available locations, which is where Krellin is headed right now.
And it's a nice, easy check. You can possibly find the shop item and at least some information on the next spells.
So no shop item. When we find our pro rings, they're really expensive. We're not going to be getting those for a while. Invis 2 and Heal 3 at level 6. That's kind of a pain. Fire 3, Cake, and Zap were all at level 6 from the black magic, so I don't really foresee picking up anything from the black side. We get our canal from the sages. That's good news. That's part of the equation.
But we don't have the ship yet, so still makes it a little difficult to leave the inner island. Or the inner sea. Cool.
Asto's giving us the herbs, so it's a little bit more to check on. Asu's calling out the exit as a means of completing ice. So the yes but there is you don't have warp, so you have to do the full loop before you can get to the incentive box and exit. And that means that you have to deal with all the spike tiles in all of the land. And all of the encounters with Fire 2 and Lit 2 as your spells. It's pretty rough. I'd want to see what the level 3 and 4 magics are before I commit to that play, but Softnum has a very dangerous encounter right there. 6 scorpions can do a lot, but gets out of there. Level 3, we have Lit 3 and Lock 2. I'm a fan of both of those spells, but I definitely want to see what the white magic shakes out for the Sage. There's Exit.
We got Exit.
Yep.
Not much else, but we at least get back to it.
That white mage feels pretty vestigial now.
Right?
I would be dropping that white mage like a bad habit and going 3-man at this point. I mean, if you're keeping the white mage, it's so you can replace it later, because it's not bringing anything to the table that the red mage isn't already. Herb turns into the ribbon, so that means that Marsh or Ice is going to contain our ship, and Astos is not a progression piece. Probably vital to finishing the seed, but not really progression. Warp level 4, Brack level 4. Life 2, Harm 3. Life 2 is a winner. I mean, that's a pretty good level for your sages.
Right. You see somebody entering into Astro? And does he say herb?
Yeah, Astos gives the herb, which turns into the ribbon.
Yeah.
So the seed could still be a little bit trolly. We're left with both of the dwarves and the key lock as potential follow-ons from wherever we're going. If you find the key, at least it's also the key. But, you know, we could be looking at a slab or a bottle in one of these dungeons, and that would be very sad.
Anything that forces you to have to go to ice when you're not ready is never a good sign.
I think once you have the level 3 and 4 charges, it's going to be a little bit more reasonable and, you know, pick up some money along the way as you're going through Marsh. It's not so bad. And you will have at least the force fight of the tile, even though you might run from it, but if it's a good enough fight,
Like, E. How do you pronounce the name? E-Y-K-I-R?
Ikir.
Iker. He's making his way into Marsh 2 at this time.
Gargoyle spike tile.
Alright,
Getting
and
the
we have
Oxyale. That's going to put ice as the progression path, which is very unfortunate. But Flurry is the first one to get that information. Oh, and a defense sword +5. That's a big find. That's a serviceable endgame weapon. Not like super great, but serviceable. +5 really solves a lot of problems.
I think it's like a fairly standard seed so far, other than the dive, the ice dive coming up. But everybody seems fairly on the same path, not too much deviation.
Yeah, so the position that we're sitting in here is, for Flurry, in terms of money, we have no money. And so it's time to sell off some bad swords. Yeah, the Weir sword is just money that I don't like selling the giant sword because you could actually use that for right now. I don't think is the defense equivocable by just the fighter? I don't think so. But you know, you're in a position where at least the fighter can hold up a mage stick as the worst case scenario.
Right. Looks like two of our contestants are pretty much running hand in hand towards ice.
Yep.
With Krillin, or Krillin, not too far behind him. It definitely looks like Soft is going to be going that very soon also, so let's hope that ice is not too bad this time around.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Honestly, if I was, any of these runners, if I have a house, I'm going to take a couple of encounters on the way. If I don't have a house, I'm going to take a couple of encounters on the way to Crescent Lake. Krellin taking a moment to go to Volcano and dig out some stuff. What shall we find? A mud goal tile, which is very disappointing. Sufnam trying the locked doors and not having the key. Alright, there's a canal for Flurry.
Right, now he's making his way up to ice. Soft is on his way back to Elfland, and Krellin is driving Volcano and Armory. Let's see if he gets anything good out of here. A little bit of pocket money, silver plus 3x isn't too bad, but he's got something better if I'm not mistaken. And a Kershark tile.
Kershark Wiz-to-Hag is a scary tile sometimes. Kershark's notorious for rolling thick.
Yeah.
And poison.
You never want to see poison. I mean, yeah, he's going to have a lot of boost on that fighter, but that is still going to be painful.
That was a light X +1, not really a big reward for the loss there. White shirt, that's good. Not like immediate, but it's good. Ikir starting out ice and having to reset out due to some early deaths. This is, at least initially, not showing itself to be particularly kind. But
No.
Rub, that explains a lot.
Yeah. I'm thinking Krellin is definitely rethinking Volcano and probably going to head up to ice at this time. Yep.
Yep. Oh, Krellin just reset out of Volcano entirely? Okay, that makes sense. I'm on board with that.
Now, we do have Warp, don't we?
Some of our runners have Warp.
Yeah.
Warp is level 4, which means that we may not have charges of it. That was a Dragon Armor +3 in the Better Trap tile chest on the right side of the incentive floor.
Ooh, that's a Nightmare Trap tile. Not too bad.
I hear making the decision to not refight that to get the other chest in that room.
Don't blame him at all.
These lit 2 Frosties, that's a real problem. That's toxic. That's probably a reset. He continues. I was wrong.
Oh. All right.
And a second ribbon in the Ice 6-pack. That's big.
Yes. Seeing as last match, we only found one ribbon the entire time, and I'm pretty sure both of our runners were begging for a second one.
These wraiths are gross. You look down on Flurry's screen with a stoned red mage, and I'm assuming the ribboned red mage that lived through many rubs and other things. But we have life. We can take care of this problem. We're out of heal potions on Flurry's side.
That is definitely something you don't want to happen often.
Panic. Slime tile. That's very dangerous and very lucrative depending on the situation. And the FFR special happens, but we get our ship. I imagine we cast exit and we just get out.
I am with you on that. I do not see any reason to stay down there longer than I have to.
We're gonna get ambushed by the slimes instead because we decided to greet it. That's a real bad position to be in. Yes, there we go. Okay. So Ikir escapes with the ship.
What do you think his play is going to be? Do you think he's going to go over to Earth and Titan and check them out? Or do you think he's going to go up to Ordeals and Bahamut and Onric?
In the position that we're seeing here, I would go promote and then do Ordeals. We have the tail, we have exit to make it fast on the way out. We can, we can wear that dragon armor and then we can go do a real dungeon. Ikir...
Entirely.
Ikir is having a forget. Because that ship was found in Ice Cave. That means that it is docked at Provoca. So it will never be at an exterior dock.
Yep.
But that was like the blessing we just needed there. That wipe sends Ikir back on the right track.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't too bad of an ice dive. I mean, Krillin over there finishing up and going through everything, but we'll see how he does with the slime tile.
Flurry gets one round of that spike tile with the slimes. And alright, Krellin and Flurry both have their ship. Flurry is exiting and saving, which I 100% agree with. Krellin has Fire 2 charges and will travel. So I also agree in the position that Krellin's in, having all party members alive, cast until you run out of Fire 2s and then exit and call it a day. These slimes are skinny. They're the sleek Italian models of slimes.
All right. God, is Flurry making the same mistake? Oh nope, Flurry is heading back up to Provoca. For a moment there, I was worried he came out at Crescent.
So Ikir's checking the Ruby and Sarda first, and I understand that play. It's close. It's two incentives that are very close together.
I do, but I'm kind of with you, because Ordeals isn't too bad at where they're at now. And Bahamut could have anything there, and it's got a better density of chests compared to these two. So you might be able to find slightly better.
But we get the floater out of Titan's Tunnel.
Oh, so that was the right play. I would be still in the boat.
And Ikir, I think, making the right choice here as well. Choosing to just leave and go get the airship right away instead of spending the extra steps going to Sarda. Krellin is making creative boat choices. Jesus calling out going to Bahamut and Ordeals first, and I get that. We have River Dock option, and you know, it saves those steps. I think, for me, now that we know where the floater is, and we've opened up the additional options, I think I'm less enthused about the idea of going to Ordeals right away. I'm willing to push it off. Now, Bahamut, no, that's got to happen. We get the adamant from Sarda. That gives our first excuse to go to dwarves. Flurry also going to get the Titans incentive here. Ike, you're trying to land the airship directly in the cave. That's a little bit of a problem. There's not a good landing spot there. Clearly part of Aylmarkin's school of airship flying. Power bonk in Bahamut's Trove.
It's a good find.
And our bottle.
Ooh, and a bottle.
I don't hate that. You know, that's...
No, and he can airship, so it'll make it easier.
Yeah, we're already in the vicinity. It's a very quick check. There's an ice shield +2, also very helpful. Alright, there's Krellin getting the boat. And Softgum just choosing to run from the slimes here with the full party up. Gets the ship. Seems like gonna just leave. Yep.
Pieces for quick. No item there. Now, we haven't found the shop item yet, have we?
We have not.
Run out of places where it could be.
Oh, Jesus the Frog saying that we found the slab for sale somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, only one runner has it right now, so I am curious to see where he found it.
If it was found as a shop item, it had to have been Elf, because I saw all the other ones.
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't see Canaria, but yeah. Krellin also making the airship decision. It's kind of impressive getting your boat and then getting the better boat immediately after.
Yeah. Flurries in the air. He's wandering off to dwarfs. Turning in the adamant.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Leaving the Hooray Dwarf in his one-word hell. The adamant turns into the rod. It's just a very fancy crowbar.
Hey, that gives him his 2 dungeons if that's what he wants to pursue. Not a bad trade-in.
Yeah, I have concerns about the lack of loot and key at this point.
Oh, trust me, I do too, but...
Silver's +3 out of the Canaria Armor Shop, always a nice find. And here is Krellin in the air. Softgum taking a trip in the direction of Bahamut and Ordeals in the regular ship, so has not yet turned in the ruby.
Maybe he's thinking he's gonna find the floater first before the ruby, but... we'll see what happens.
Slab was in Canaria, okay. That explains things. That is a very inexpensive shop item, then. Ike here has found the red dragon tile in Waterfall, if I'm not mistaken. One of the easier dragons. I think it's the first one that you'd normally see in vanilla, so assuming you actually did the intended vanilla order of things.
So now, I know these are two different groups. Are they racing as an individual against all the other three? So
No, it is Ikir versus Flurry and Krellin versus Softnum. So
okay.
they are staying within their respective clown cars.
Good. Okay. Yeah, so that's got to make scoring a lot more confusing.
Softnum sailing away from ordeals. I have a confuse. Nope, we're headed back. Okay. We just got a little lost. C does that to you sometimes. Campano logic, correct. This is zero loose. There's no Mossimiune, but we have an incentivized Vorpal and Ribbon. We have found the Ribbon already.
See what the model turns into. That will be our key.
Okay, that's super important and great. I feel better already.
Right. All he needs now is a loot, and he's pretty much in go mode for his orbs.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is the Flurry is ambitiously leveled, we'll say.
Yes. He probably will want to find a grind tile in one of the dungeons. But I mean, I don't think he's even dived any of them yet, so that's not too bad.
You know what? Let's call it for what it is. It's impressive to get out of ice and still be level 9.
Oh, entirely. I wouldn't have that kind of luck. Let's see, what do we see in Canary Castle? We get the cube.
The D6 has been found, but a ruse stick as well. That's I like having
Now
two
they're shaking
defense
stick
items.
Hey. I'll stop with the bad puns. But let's see. Flurry on his way over to Onric.
So right now, Softnum is the only one who's making any effort towards the Ordeals play. So if this turns out to be the loot, that's real big news.
Interesting to see what he finds. Hopefully the map is, well, the maze is good to him. Nobody wants to pick 4 at the end.
Ikir continuing to take this red D, which is getting decent levels onto the fighter, or the knight rather. And I think we're going to be at that point where it's just see what attrition happens to the red wizards, and we'll go from there. Oh, there was a Sun +4 in there, and the TNT. You know, the waterlogged TNT is probably not so useful. You know, hanging out in the waterfall cave where you have to go through a waterfall on the way out.
Well, I don't know. If it's old school with nitroglycerin, it might be okay.
Alright.
And you don't want to bump it too much on the way out in the little canoe, but...
Yeah. I am still always entertained when the TNT comes from the Lefanish man, because he hands you explosives and says, "Here, use this to avenge the Sky Warriors." Sorry, what?
Right? I mean, I could probably throw it far, but not that far. put that in the right spot. I'm pretty sure you can access it.
Alright, so Sofnum is through the Ordeals maze, is getting the chests on the far side of it. Gold +1 in there, that's nice. And it's the chime. So, Ordeals, not particularly required. We're getting the annoying wizards on the way out.
Let's see.
So we still have a slab turn-in and a TNT turn-in that we haven't seen.
Right, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Krellin is going for his TNT turn-in right now.
Mm-hmm. And there it is. That's the loot. So, Krellin now in go mode. We know that the Vorpal is going to be sitting with the Lefanish man. That's, the Sun +4 is good enough for me to be like, probably fine. And off to Earth we go, taking advantage of that rod. Now, okay, so we're doing spike tile checks. That's a good find right there.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that white wizard up and both of the sage red wizards face down is a little concerning. All right. If the goal here is to just get levels onto the knight, I'm hugely in favor. And that does look to be the case. We're just going to heal up the knight, leave the white wizard at 4 hit points, and whenever it dies, it dies. It's got some extra hit points for Topher, and we'll call it a day.
Right. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Try and get that grind in as much as possible, and should pay off much later. And the seed, I mean, he's pretty much got everything he needs for go mode, so
Ike here
get his
taking
levels now.
on Sea Shrine here.
Not opposed to it, but definitely an interesting play.
Mm-hmm. I like the sea play sometimes here because it's kind of a shorter dungeon, and you have a nice compact amount of chests. Even though the packs are kind of scary, I really like it. You know, it's got some opportunities for you to progress well in terms of levels, in terms of gear. It has a boss that is susceptible to a specific tactic.
Well, I mean, that was what we were talking about earlier. I mean, it's very common that you have the 2 items you need to complete Volcano and Earth. But while they are the easier of the 4, the walk and grind and sea and sky are usually far better, to the point where you can actually get up there and get your levels just by walking through them. And it's been interesting to see a couple races where instead of people going, okay, I'm doing Earth and Fire and I'm done, I've seen people do Volcano and Sky, or Volcano and Sea, and actually get the experience they need while they're going around and doing everything. Jesus the Frog, I would probably go low 30s, maybe even up to 32, 33.
So I'm always torn on this because, first off, we know that this is a very accessible spike tile, and I guess we have a life spell available for the night, right? So that's not so bad. But the main thing that I'm considering here is with the airship and the ability to get back to the spike tile very easily, it doesn't make sense to go too high. Like, we're at 35 and he's still going. So, I mean, you know,
He does kind of.
man's gonna make his choice.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's going for 42 just to play it safe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Darkmoon calling out that there is a black belt at Kraken.
you know, he does have a white mage. It might be worth getting rid of it.
So, yeah, that's a really big calculus here. We do have the ribbons to cancel out the MDEF growth problem that the master has. Oh, Flurry looking at a sandworm grind. Neat.
Right? I mean, it might work. The worst things he could grind.
Alright, there's fast in the warp slot. But we are already promoted, there is no problem with that.
I think a sandwich grind with Caleb not in the booth is bad luck. You know what? I kind of agree with that. You can't bring snacks in here without the leader of the snack people. Midnight snack.
I don't know if it's just a midnight snack if you're taking several sandwiches. It's like you've gone from the $5 footlong to like the 36-inch. We're feeding a small party. You know, like you get the catering subs that are just obscenely long.
You know, I do miss those. I can remember in my childhood walking into Subway and some guy walking out with like a 6-foot sub, and we're just like, what the hell? People buy giant subs?
The kind where you actually have to have like several people hoisting it on their shoulder to get it out.
Yes. Oh. Now I'm gonna have to go look for one. I wonder if Jimmy John's would make one. Like, no, don't cut the French roll in half. Use the whole thing.
Softnum pulling out the double anti-bingo strats, checking Sarda's pop room real quick there. Krellin has moved.
You see what level?
No.
Yeah, did we see what level Krellin stopped grinding to?
30 high.
30 high? Okay. He is trying to make real sure he doesn't have problems. 38? Thank you. We got Iker right behind him coming into Volcano. Probably not quite as high wise. It's still up there. So you just hit 29 down there on the bottom with the sandwiches.
Not bad, but this is definitely not as fast as the Blue D grind was for Krellin.
Oh no, not at all.
So Krellin in this position has the defense, has the power gauntlet, has a pretty super powered knight. This seed ain't long for this world.
Oh no.
We're checking for fast charges and realizing we don't have the levels on our red mages to have fast charges.
That probably might be the one thing he's regretting is maybe keeping that red mage alive just a little bit longer.
That's a solvable problem, you know? I mean, they're only level 5 charges, like, whatever. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Look, when you hit for 500 damage, do you really need that? The answer is always yes, but still. only there was a place and time for those levels. Chat, I agree with you entirely.
Ike here taking on Carrie as well. Taking a little bit longer, doesn't have quite as much firepower on that night, but sabered up one of the red wizards.
Do you think Icar is going to head to Topher after this, or do you think he's going to find a nice spot to grind for a little bit?
That's an excellent question, and we're rolling up on the 45-minute mark, which is sort of scary, right? Like Vanilla Vorpal from the Lefanish Man. And linebacker Lefanish Man doing his thing to Flurry. Krellin burdens an encounter and into Earth. We've got enough morale to make trolls run away. That's a good place to be for when you're in Earth.
Run from you, can't bother you.
Exactly. Like, that's always my concern, right? Like, is going into a dungeon and it's so often that you've got like the thief and then your actual melee carry. This is not a slam on the thief, but it's like thief fighter, thief black belt, whatever. And you're like, all right, so I got a ton of levels onto the melee carry, and then I've got my run character up front. And do I bank on the agility giving me more first strikes and run chances and avoiding surprise rounds against me? Or do I just put the big guy up front and let everything run? Temper and
like
Fate
the last seed. Yeah, the last seed. The Cobras in here had crack, and they had nuclear, so like Earth was not a fun place for either of my runners.
Mm-hmm.
The overworld was just a bad place in general for anybody.
Yeah, that seemed like one of the real bad seeds that we're going to see out of the pod round.
Yeah. But they both struggled through, so I've got respect for both of them. Alright. We have South finally finding his cube. See where he's heading off to today.
Alright, Krellin rolling up on a lich. Sees a black mage behind the lich. That black mage is staying there. Sofnum also showing off that they're a hooray dwarf enjoyer.
Let's see how long speed bump lasts. Oh, never mind. Speed bump's gone.
Yeah, that speed bump wasn't going to last very long against I think the Sun Sword +4 on that night, and
Right.
and enough levels to be scary on its own. Krellin making the landing. We're headed into Topher. Now, I do have the concern that we don't have the fast casts. Actually, oh man,
We don't have
the
fast cast.
The idea of exiting and tenting and hard resetting and walking back into these worms That would get you your levels pretty quick. And we're doing it. Now the downside is Krellin's out of houses. It just has tents and cabins. But, you
All
know,
we're doing is swinging at him. That's all that matters.
I guess we're not counting on the resources from the mages, so it's not so bad. Alright, Softnum taking an Earth Dive, Flurry going into Volcano and hanging out in the Armory, picks that white shirt back up. Krellin had seen that earlier but had abandoned that dive. Oh, one house left, okay. I definitely thought it was tents and cabins only. Thank you for the correction, chat.
And I wonder what's up with Flurry. Oh, there we go. I needed a quick break.
It might have been a stream stutter. It might have been a, what am I doing again? Stutter. You know, these things happen.
This isn't the volcano I walked into.
Alright, so Krellin took a couple of fights, got the fast charges, I'm assuming, and is doing the for realsy dive. Sub 50 minutes, which, you know, that's a respectable time to get in here. I think 50 to 60 minutes is kind of a typical in this flag set. We've seen we've seen faster, we've seen slower, obviously, but you know, 50 minutes to get in is a good time. 50 to 60 to finish is, again, pretty standard. Ice armor +1 in the back, and a call out for the opal bracelet in one of the toe chests here. So. Krellin to the Lich floor. Three failed runs from a single Gurmedusa. Just take it out. We'll be fine. Ikir also in Topher, fighting some Frosties. Flurry on carry 1, and Softnum working through Earth 4. Alright, speed bump round 2.
As this one goes.
I disagree with choosing to use one of your fast casts here.
Oh, I agree entirely. That did not need a fast cast whatsoever. Even if that was 2 rounds, that is still 2 rounds. That's fast cast you can use on something else.
Yeah, you know, you kind of got to worry about when the slow 2 comes out and whatnot. Jesus rightfully pointing out 6 casts and 4 life casters. Okay. It's just, I go for the maximum disrespect on Lich, so. Like I said to Dengwu last night, my Topher dive I knew was blessed when I got the cake to land on Lich 2. You gotta go for the maximum disrespect. Flurry headed into C. Going after a Kraken will find that black belt.
Huh? Although it looks like he has finished his grind and might not need that black belt, but maybe he'll be kicking himself for it afterwards.
Well, carry 2 was a little scary, apparently. Took down 2 of the casters for Krellin, but is now down, and we're cruising through the seafloor with, like, no encounters. Oh, no. There, I cursed it. Okay, Gasties, problematic for Icare. Recure form.
Yeah.
We're considering our life choices. Meanwhile, Red Mage 1 down on Krellin's side. Fast and Cure 4 go out onto the Knight, as well as Power Bonk. We're making moves here. That White Wizard has like nothing going for it, which is perfectly fine for that swing from Kraken. Nuclear comes out. Red Mage 133 left, but that does not matter. The Knight swings, takes out Kraken 2. It is time to bring people back to life.
But he made it through, so now he's on his way to Tia. Let's see how Tia treats him today.
Well, we got an okay man and a nightmare first.
And an Iron Golem. Because why not? And there's no fast charges on that one. Hopefully did not use up all of the fast charges.
Leaving one for Chaos, which I agree with entirely. That's a good play.
Yes.
What I'm quickly realizing, Krellin did not end up picking up life on one of those reds, so we're a little hamstrung there. It'll be fine.
One of the reds went down. Hopefully that is not the one that does it.
There's still 2 level 1 charges on the Knight. Now, I don't want to use one of those, but... Alright, Red Mage down as well. Tiamat down.
Our first runner makes it to Chaos. Is Iker making his dive now?
Iker is on the floor before Lich. Krellin pulling up to Chaos and also nearly giving me a heart attack with the menuing to get to heal 2 a second ago. Has kept going one further down and hovering over exit and then having to go back. It was not good for my heart.
Right.
Alright, the fast is out. We're chip damaging with fire too. I wouldn't bother. It's okay. Chaos solves that question for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're power bonking. We're eating a fire too this time. It's okay. We're getting things done.
Get a nice little heal out on everybody. Dodge no light 2, and by dodging I mean being electrocuted.
Farewell, brave White Wizard.
You did your job.
Flurry also in Topher now to that pre-lich floor, so not that far behind Ikir. Alright, the Knight is revved up and doing its thing. And it is down to just a Knight. There was a Bane, it didn't do anything. There was a Lit 2, it did Lit 2 things. That's okay, we've got a fighter swinging a defense that was 6 hits for some number of damage. And terminated on Krellin.
Krellin, GG, everybody. Krellin with a finish time of somewhere around 58-24, I think it was.
58:24 according to the race time room.
Show me with mental math. Who cares what Fury is up to? He's doing... He looks like he is doing a lot of planning.
That looked like it was almost a double fast to the night for this Lich 2 fight.
I mean, I'm all about flexing, but even me...
Ike, you're taking on carry as Flurry is working their way to carry too, so soon. And so with that, it does look like Softnum has chosen to forfeit here, which I do not blame in the slightest.
No.
It looks like Softnum is waiting in our room here. See if Krellin wants to come in too.
Yes.
So I'm yanking Softnum up. Hello, Softnum.
Yep, you're muted.
I'm sitting here being a polite person, sitting on mute. Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
Hey, man.
And getting Krellin up here too.
Yep.
Hello, Krellin. GG.
Hello, greetings everyone. Thank you.
GG's,
It's a hell of a run there, Krellin, man. I gotta give it to you.
That was intense. I was shaky the entire time.
Believe it entirely.
Yeah, you
mean-
seemed like you had a bit of nerves in the race room before we started here, and I think you put on a real good show.
I certainly tried. I was fighting my controller the entire time. I remapped all my buttons yesterday because it's breaking. New ones are in the mail tomorrow, and I'm like fighting it the whole time. I did like a short practice run, and I kept screwing up my controls. Like, no.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah,
I know that feeling. I had to order replacement rubbers for my controller a few months back and replace them 3 times in the course of the last year.
I swapped controller styles entirely. I went from using a NVIDIA Shield controller to using an 8-bit Do. And I tried to run a match, and I was like, I don't know why the buttons feel in the wrong spot. So,
and it kept showing me the Xbox Live stuff, and I'm like, no, not now. And I'm on an 8-bit do too. Like, it's right below the B button though, and I kept slipping. Anyway, GG. So I went east, Krellin, like out of Provoca. Where did you go out of Provoca?
I went east, and then I went down, and then I went all the way over to Marsh, and then I backtracked all the way through to Ice.
See, I did. Let's see. I went to Crescent Lake, and then I went to Elfland, and then I went to Astos, and then I went to Marsh, and then I went to the Prince, and then
Yeah, we were.
yeah.
Pretty much everybody did the same route.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you were the only one that didn't go right away to go get the floater. So...
Yeah, I went as soon as, like, I got the tail, I think, from Sarah. Something early anyway. Maybe it was, I don't know. Anyway, and I was like laser focused, like, okay, as soon as I have the ship, I need to go to Ordeals and Bahamut. So, yeah.
I know that feel.
My thinking was, I'll get to it when I get to it. I want to get in the air. So I kept searching.
Yeah, and that seemed to help out. I couldn't, like... Where did you grind?
I found the blue dragons on the first tile of the Earth Cave. And I was like, I already had 2 parties dead, and my white mage was alive. I was like, well, I can get some extra heals, and I can get them killed, and it worked out beautifully. I'm like, I'm staying here.
Yeah, I didn't check Earth Cave. There was a red D in Waterfall at the spike tile, and so actually
Yeah.
I was starting to grind that when we finished. So
And then the very, very first step into Topher was worms, and I was like, worms.
yeah, I was gonna go eat sandwiches, but it's so hard.
It's what we watched Flurry do for a little while there. He just went and ate a bunch of sandwiches. So...
That was a pretty beautiful seed. I know where I screwed up a little bit, and we sat for so long waiting to go. I couldn't remember what I couldn't remember what the blur scenes were, and I'm like, what were they again?
Where was the loot?
Derek had the loot and the waterfall TNT.
Okay, so you had to go get the waterfall TNT, go back to Narek. Okay. All right.
I can't remember, and I don't remember what it was. What was the purchase item, and where was that? 'Cause I don't know if I went over it.
It was in Corneria, and it was a slab.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Which turned into a vanilla Vorpal.
I'm glad I didn't prioritize turning that in, I guess. The early defense was good.
Yeah, finding that defense was like, I'm done, got my weapon, go. I mean, if I got the Vorpal, then that'd be even, more golden, but I didn't even get that far. As soon as I got the loot and the key, I'm like, I'm good to go. And I had the rod already. Like, this is perfect. I just need to move. I need to level, and I need to move.
Yeah.
I thought you had me, because like I had screwed up a couple times, and I absolutely hate getting like exit or some other spell alone, because I'm afraid I'm gonna hit it, and I was trying to be super careful, especially with my my half broken controller. It's like, if I hit exit, I am going to screw myself so bad. So I was carefully. It's like, don't hit the button, take the extra second, because the worst thing I could have done was like exit out of Topher, and I've done that in a practice run before, and I wanted to table flip him, since I'm never doing that again. So I always try to have the first slot filled and then go to the second. But my whole team just turned into one big giant meat wall, and I didn't care if they died. It wasn't clean, but I made it through.
Yeah, I took a white mage for the exit.
Yep, I took fighter, 2 red mages, because apparently they had sage, and I completely forgot about that. And and the white mage for the exit, and that worked out beautifully.
Yeah. I mean, the white mage was kind of hit and miss. We found that white shirt, and then it was like, oh, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I think I got the white shirt at one point, and then I died.
I got the white shirt and the black shirt.
The sharks were very disrespectful, and the white dragons were just absolutely cruel.
So while we've been talking here, Ikir has finished off Chaos with a time of 105.59, and there is Flurry on a 107.59, even 2-minute difference between the two.
Yeah,
Get your
GG.
GGs out.
Jeez.
I'm poking in the race room to see if they want to come chat as well.
Were we all on the same seed?
Yep.
Yes, you were both running the same exact seeds.
Oh, curious. So that means Krellin like won one.
I did a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just gonna be raffle stomping all over me. I thought it was so behind. I felt so bad, especially with the ice cave. That was just that was brutal to get through. And I found the dragon armor there, and I was like, I can't. Those white dragons were so mean.
Yeah. They're like I ended up taking the 4th reset for it, and I managed to avoid the burbs. And like I only got 1 white D or something on that encounter set, so
And I think it took me 3 dives. I'll go back and check.
it was nice second. But
All right. Well, we are joined now by Ikir and Flurry. GG's.
Good finish, guys.
Thanks.
You guys, well, all 4 of you ran a hell of a race today. So, Iker, any thoughts on the seed?
I was really disappointed to see exit at level 3. I said if it was level 1, I was resetting and doing full red mage party, and well, fighter 3 red mage, and then I found it at level 3, and I'm like, I can't reset now. It's 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in.
I was honestly wondering, I mean, with Sage, you pretty much had access to almost all the spells. Why go with the White Mage?
I went the white mage specifically because it got exit. Like 2 casts of exit, and some of those early dungeons like ice and marsh cave, they're good. And I forgot to exit out of the castle, although that probably would have been back to the top. Never mind. But yeah, there's having those exits early. If you're not getting exit or warp early, then it's just a great spell to have. And it was level 3, and I was disappointed. So if I'd find a red mage somewhere, I would have traded him in for the white mage easily. Did not.
Now, Fury, how'd you feel after going through all that work of grinding and then seeing a black belt right behind, who was it? Kraken?
It was fine. I'm thinking I've probably done about 30 or so, probably not that much, practice seeds, and had black belt come up like 3 times, and none of them were times that I actually wanted the black belt. So if he shows up, great, but it's not something I can reliably count on. So yeah, it is a bummer, but I mean, defense sword +5, I think that's just fine.
Oh, I missed that. I was running some wet sword +4.
Defense +5.
Oh yeah, that's what I was running too. That thing was beautiful. I'm glad I checked that chest, and then I pieced the heck out of Marsh.
Yep.
Oh, it's in Marsh. Okay.
Yeah, it was the one chest to the right of the incentive.
Okay, you stopped at the center, and I'm like, I'm out. So
Yeah, normally I don't even check those chests unless it's like something that I'm dying. But I had exit, and that was the only reason I check it, because Marsh is usually, Marsh.
I checked it because low on gold. I lots of gold in there. Cool, I get spells. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I was broke as a joke for a while.
I think we all were.
Well, I believe it was what, negative money for the red mage in English?
Yeah, the red
Yeah.
mage is
150.
And I don't think anybody took less than 2.
Yeah.
I only took 1. I took the rainbow mage. Black one.
Okay.
Yeah, the opening chests were very stingy for y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was it? Single-digit gold in Topher. It's like 7.
Yeah, there was like an 8, I think, and there was a 7 in Waterfall or something.
I ended up selling the Weir sword as soon as I got it. I was like, oh, money. I'm broke.
This'll buy me level 2 spells. Oh, good.
I ended up putting them on my red mages, and they were just kicking butt. Because only level 2 spells early. Like, one level 3, we had lit 3, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, I just got my red mages high enough so they can cast fast, and then I was like, go! I actually did a small grind in Topher on the worms, and that was amazing. I was like, they was just right there.
I did them on the zombie dragons, and then found out they had stone touch, and ouch.
Ooh!
Although, like, getting my red mage, or one of my red mages to level 30 in one fight was cool because he was level left in. They got up to nuke. It did not get him the temper, though.
I don't even remember where Temper was. I think I saw it, but I didn't
Just
get
level 8.
Yeah, level.
Using us at level 8.
I believe there was something else that was also level 8 too. That was just like, oh, that's mean.
Fade and Nuke were all in the guys' shops.
7, 8. Yeah. Just happy for the power bonk, so I didn't have to worry about Temper.
Yeah, I got the power bunk. I couldn't remember where I got it. Where did that drop at?
Me either. I don't remember.
It was in Bahamut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. It was like
yeah,
first
yeah.
chest.
Everybody got it, I think.
Yep. I've seen people go in, just get the item and leave, and there's usually good stuff in there. The taunting black shirt too. At least one person got good use out of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the races?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone being here, for hosting, for the Final Fantasy Randomizer, for letting us stream. This is I love this so much. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for the comms. I didn't realize this was a 4-way race. I'll have to watch it back to see how 4 people did it.
Yep, thanks for race, thanks for comms, thanks for trekking, thanks for trying to get 6 people on one screen.
Yeah, totally appreciate all the effort that goes into getting this sort of thing
Game is amazing.
running, and just glad I finished first FFR race. So didn't enough practice seeds ended in wanting to put my foot through a monitor. So happy that managed to do okay, and just gotta clean it up.
You did well. So only 2 minutes behind. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Congrats on your first race.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats on first race, and the restream adds a certain level of nerves. I remember the first time for me.
Oh, yeah, good grief, that was crazy. Yeah, especially if it's your first race, it's amazing. Congratulations, good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can remember mine and having Fizzle sitting there like yelling at me in chat. No, what are you doing? No. And going back and rewatching it and seeing his comments and being like, wow, I wasn't. So, but you did amazing. Keep it up, man. I look forward to seeing more from you.
Appreciate it.
Forsaken, do you have final thoughts?
I want to thank everybody that ran today. I want to thank you and Dark Moon for keeping everything together. And Mr. Ibis, thank you for tracking. I did not want to forget that. Otherwise, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you've had like...
Oh, yeah, if it was, great job.
Yeah, Mr. Ibis handled solo tracking. Forsaken here has had like 3.5 hours of comms.
Good job, everybody.
Like, I'm here, but I'm starting to fade. I'm at that old person fade now. Like, it's midnight for me. I should be in bed.
All right, well, I'll take us home here. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight's presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Chaos Winter Carnival. This has been a fabulous 4-way race, and I want to say thank you to all 4 of our runners for putting on a great show, as well as the runners Min and Infinite Tape from the prior race that ran right up into this block. That was a heck of a seed. Definitely go back and watch the VOD if you didn't get to catch that one. So also thank you to Dark Moon EX for being the fabulous restreamer who had to show off how the sausage is made, getting everybody cropped and ready for the restream while the prior race was going on. Thank you, Forsaken, for doing the comms 2 in a row. It's an exhausting prospect. I know, I've done it before. And thank you, Mr. Ibis, for the tracking tonight. If you like what you saw and you aren't already part of the community, head on over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com and click the community Discord link to join the Discord. Check out the randomizer, see all of the fabulous flags. There's over 500 of them, and it's still fantastic. We're going to be running a Duckling Bootcamp, our new player program, coming up at the end of the winter tournament. So that's going to be towards the end of March. That's 6 weeks where we teach you how to play the randomizer, a bunch of different things that go on there, and a little race just for our new players to try out the waters. So, with that, we have tons of races. I believe there are 9 races tomorrow, Friday the 13th. So come check us out for some more racing action. We're going to be racing all month long, plus the next 2 months, really, as we finish up the pod rounds in January and head into brackets in February. But with that, I am Saracen. Have a great night, and we'll see y'all later.